Hello. It's good to see you. I just had a shower. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and we're going to read some. Don't worry about what I look like. Just listen to what I have to say. Now, we are up to chapter 81. This is page 357 out of 780. So we're not halfway yet. I did want to say, though, before I start, if you have already read the whole thing on Kindle, I'd be really curious to hear what you have to say about it. I have gotten a lot of feedback from people who have finished it, and I appreciate all of that. I'm filtering those comments out so there are no spoilers, but if you comment, I will see it. I would really love to hear your opinion of the story. Of course, when we finish reading the whole thing, maybe we can talk about it. So if you have any questions or anything, or if you're in the middle of reading it and you have any questions, I probably won't answer them now because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But I would love to hear your comments and your questions about it, especially if you've already finished it. So you already know how everything's going to go. I would really love to hear your opinion of the story and just any thoughts you have about it. I would really love to read that, and I really appreciate those who have already done that for me, who have already commented, and I've seen it. I did see it, and I really appreciate that. I don't want to spoil it, though, for people who haven't, who are only at this point right here, so I don't want to spoil anything. But I would love to hear what you have to say, and any questions or observations that you have would be really cool to hear. If you want to share, I would love to see it. So I just wanted to ask if you would just leave a comment. You're not going to see it, but I will see it, and I would really love to hear what you have to say. So it's been great hearing the feedback so far. It's been really, really cool. Okay, so we're up to chapter 81. We're still in part 1. There are 2 parts to this story. We're still in part 1. All right, chapter 81. I expected to see Aiden again that day. It sounded like he wouldn't be gone too long, but he didn't come back until almost lunchtime the next day. He rang my doorbell. I'd just gotten comfortable on the couch and was a bit miffed that I had to get up. I shuffled over to the door and opened it. Aiden, why couldn't you just pop in? I was about to start an Andy Griffith Show marathon and had just settled myself. Sorry about that. He seemed too distracted by something else to pay attention to what I was saying. He just stood there in the doorway. Come on in, I said, backing out of the way. You don't have to do all this when you come see me. He stepped inside. Do all what? Stand on ceremony, ring the bell, and wait to be invited in. You can just blip yourself in here. Just don't scare me like if I'm asleep or in the shower. I'd never scare you on purpose. Where have you been? I went away for a little break. Where'd you go? It's just a place I enjoy. I find it to be very peaceful. After yesterday, I needed it. Where'd you go that was so bad? Oh, wait, you don't have to tell me. Wherever it was, I'm sure Jerry was involved. He sighed. Can we sit down? Of course. I grabbed the remote and turned off the TV. We sat on the couch. Jerry dismissed me yesterday, he said. He did what? Dismissed you? He can't do that, can he? It doesn't void our contract, but if he doesn't want my help anymore, he's free to tell me to stay away. Didn't Pastor Faust do something like that? A lot of my people do it eventually. It's just a matter of time before they think they can manage things alone. So, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? He looked at me, frowning a bit. It means we're one step closer to the end of all of this. The end of my time here, he said. Amber left him yesterday due to Jerry's own actions. Jerry blames me, of course, and he said he wants nothing further to do with me. So you're just done. Like done with going to his apartment. What now? You just wait for his time to run out? No one has a set time, he said. There's no expiration date or deadline. It's up to me to decide when his time is up. I thought you had no control over that. For most people, I don't. For the ones who make a deal with me, I absolutely do. I had a thought. You could stay here forever then? I mean, if it's up to you, why couldn't you? Unfortunately, these things typically seem to fall apart after they dismiss me. I'd like to think that it won't happen this time, but with Jerry, it's going to fall apart. What do you mean, fall apart? My people generally aren't very good at managing their own lives. They don't realize how much I do for them until I'm gone, and even then, their egos won't allow them to ask me to come back. Everything implodes, and after that, it's over. I end it. Couldn't you just wait? I asked him. Maybe if you gave him a little more time, he'd come around and get straightened out. I tried that. Things got worse. Couldn't you just wait? I asked him. Maybe if you gave them a little more time, they'd come around to get straightened out. I tried that. Things got worse. In fact, in one case, things got so bad that my person attempted to take his own life. Dang, and knowing where he'd go, was it really that bad? I guess it was that bad in his opinion. Jerry would never do that, I said. He's too full of himself. You think he would? That would depend on several things. Are people still fascinated by him? Are they interested in his talents? Is life still relatively easy? If so, he won't do anything. Who determines all those things? Ultimately, he does. He can keep it going or he can ruin it. The talents are a constant, but that doesn't guarantee that people will still care about them. If he makes enough of an ass of himself for a long enough period of time, people will abandon him. They'll move on to the next big thing and leave him in the dust. Like Amber. Yeah, like Amber. Do you think she'll take him back? No. Ouch. How does he rationalize that in his mind? Well, Amber walked in on Jerry and another woman. What? No way. She did. I didn't even realize he was seeing anybody else. Was it a one-time fling or something? He wanted to have his cake and eat it too, Aiden said. Wanted his Kate and Edith too. Oh, like the Statler Brothers song. Or was he literally with a Kate and Edith? No, just like the song. He believed he could carry on 2 relationships simultaneously. But he just crashed and burned. Pretty quickly, yes. Well, I'm happy for Amber, I said. I didn't really ever get to know her, but she seemed nice. I'm glad she got away from him. Me too. I guess I shouldn't have an opinion on it one way or another, but she truly deserves better. Do you think he'll learn anything from that experience? He'd have to acknowledge his faults first, Aiden said, and that's never going to happen. Chapter 82. Jerry called Justice back over to his apartment for dinner the following night. Too many things had changed, and it was too quiet. Daniel was working on dinner, but said as little as possible. Please come have dinner with me, Jerry whispered into the phone. I don't know what we're having, but I need you here. Okay, 8 o'clock. Fine, see you then. He sat on the sofa and stared at a nearby lamp. The lampshade had red beads sewn on it in the shape of a flower. He stared at it for a long time, thinking that he couldn't remember ever having seen it before. Maybe it was something Amber had picked out. Amber. He felt a stab of pain in his heart just thinking about her. Damn it, he said out loud. Daniel seemed to appear directly in front of him, and it made him jump. Is something wrong, sir? Ah, I hate it when you do that. I need to put a bell around your neck. He took a deep breath and let it out. I'm fine, just thinking out loud. Oh, Justice is coming over for dinner, so whatever we're having... What are we having? We're having grilled chicken with mushrooms, fettuccine, and a garden salad. Just make sure there's enough for 2. As you wish. He turned on his heel and walked away. And try to walk a little louder in the future, Jerry called out. Justice showed up in time for dinner. The meal was delightful. They remained at the dining room table after Daniel cleared away the dishes. Are you still looking forward to our Vegas trip this weekend? She asked. Jerry thumped a crumb off the table. Vegas. Oh, yeah. Are you feeling okay? You were pretty quiet during dinner. You know I don't like to talk a whole lot when I'm trying to eat. I've got a lot on my mind. Don't really feel like talking anyway. Really? What's on your mind? She leaned over the table and rested her chin on her fist. What do you think? You remember what happened yesterday? Oh, that. I figured Aiden worked all that out for you. Yeah, he worked it out all right. He worked Amber right out of my life for good. Justice sat back and sighed. I'm so sorry to hear that. You don't seem too sorry. What do you mean? I mean, you get this weird look on your face every time I say anything about Amber. It's like you're happy about it. I thought you were okay with me seeing other people. She smiled. But it sounds like you're not seeing other people. See, right there. This makes you happy, doesn't it? Justice stood up slowly. I'm going to refresh my drink. Would you like anything? Why won't you answer my question? Jerry, I know you're unhappy, but what can I do about it? I'm not the one who spoke to Amber and told her to come by yesterday. What are you saying? Somebody told her to come here? He slid his chair back and stood up to face her. She shrugged. Has she ever been one to stop by unannounced? Jerry thought about it for a minute. I mean, no. She always calls first. So she... Justice nodded slowly. Yes, what? Jerry asked. Just say whatever it is you're trying to say. I'm saying that somebody obviously talked to her. Whether they called her or answered the phone when she called, it certainly wasn't me. I was with you. She glanced toward the kitchen, then back at Jerry. Are you saying it was Daniel? Who else could it have been? But Daniel, I don't think he would do something like that. Why don't you ask him? He wouldn't. Daniel, Justice called out. Can you please come here for a moment? Daniel emerged slowly and quietly from the kitchen. Yes, ma'am. Justice glanced back at Jerry and said, Jerry has a question for you. Daniel looked at Jerry. Sir, was dinner not to your satisfaction? Jerry stepped away from the table and pushed his chair in. No, it was fine. Listen, you know how Amber showed up here yesterday evening? I left, sir, Daniel said. Miss Amber was not here yesterday evening, to the best of my knowledge. Justice huffed. You left. She wasn't here. Yeah. Daniel, did you talk to Amber at all yesterday? I didn't see Miss Amber yesterday. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking, did you talk to her yesterday? Daniel stood there for a moment, looking back and forth at Justice and Jerry. His lips were pursed together. See? Justice said, and she pointed at Daniel. There's your guy. There's the problem. Jerry took a step toward Daniel. You talked to her yesterday? Did you call her? Daniel looked down at the floor. Jerry grabbed his head and forced him to look up. Answer me. Daniel was shaking. She deserves... Jerry let go of him. Stop. No. What is it? Justice asked, wide-eyed. I can't have him here, he said. You're fired. Get out of my sight. You're stronger than I would be, Justice said. This is the guy who caused you to lose Amber forever. I think I'd have to do something way more drastic. What else can I do? He asked. Daniel started to walk away, but Jerry stopped him. Justice gazed at Daniel. Daniel remained standing there as if he was frozen. Jerry's eyes brightened and he smiled a little. Oh, I know. Aiden. Aiden appeared. That was quick, he said. I want to use one of my passes. Your passes? What do you mean? Aiden looked over at Daniel. Are you okay? Daniel didn't respond. Justice smiled at Aiden. He's fine. Jerry was so overwhelmed with the situation that he didn't notice Justice's reaction to Aiden's sudden appearance, or the lack thereof. I get 3, Jerry said. Right? Aiden realized why he had been summoned. That is correct, he said. Why do you ask? Jerry made a waving motion at Daniel. Him. Let him be the first one. Take him out. Aiden tried to catch Daniel's eye, but Daniel continued to stare down at the floor. Why? He asked, genuinely confused. What could he possibly have done to deserve it? Doesn't matter, Jerry said. I get what I want, and I want him dead. Gone. Do it. Aiden thought it over for a moment. You can't undo this once it's done, he said. I need to be sure you're aware of that. Justice approached Aiden and delicately caressed his right shoulder down to his arm. She whispered into his ear, "He's aware. Do it." Aiden looked at her, his eyes vacant but exploring her face. "I will," he whispered. Jerry nodded. "I do understand. I'll have 2 left. He deserves it for what he did." Justice took a step back. Aiden straightened his tie and smoothed out his jacket. He stood up a little taller and approached Daniel. "Do I want to watch this?" Jerry asked. "It'll be fine," Aiden said without taking his eyes off Daniel. He gently placed his hands on Daniel's chest. The two breathed in unison for a moment. Jerry and Justice looked on as a white light began to glow between Aiden's fingers. Daniel looked out over Aiden's shoulder as if he was tracking something. The light intensified and then dimmed. A crackling sound filled the room for a few seconds. Aiden vanished without a word, and Daniel's lifeless body fell to the floor. Chapter 83. It was about midnight when Aiden came back to my house that night. He disappeared so quickly that I was afraid something really bad had happened. I was asleep on the couch when he returned. My creativity was still on hiatus, so I had very little to occupy my time between sleeping, watching TV, and hanging out with Aiden. It was nice in a way, but having no creative thoughts or ideas was depressing. I felt like a crucial part of my brain had been turned off. He gently touched my hand, and I woke up. Something was wrong. He had a look in his eyes I'd never seen before. I sat up. "What's wrong? Where have you been?" I asked, glancing at the clock on the wall. "You've been gone for hours." He knelt down in front of me and gave me a tight hug. "Do you need to sit here and hold my hand for a while?" I asked. "I always need that." "Then sit. Come sit here." He let go and sat down beside me. I took his hand. "Would a cigarette help?" I asked, joking. "Sorry. Tell me whatever you're comfortable telling me." "Things are just really volatile right now. Unpredictable." He looked at me. "I don't know how much more time we have. I can't even venture a guess, but it's a lot less than I would have expected." "So you left here earlier because of Jerry?" That's what I'm gathering here. "There's one aspect of my job that you didn't witness in Dalton Fisher. I really shouldn't talk about it here either. It's not really something you need to know, so never mind. This night has just been horrible." "What do you normally do when you have to deal with bad stuff?" "I get away for a little while, if I can," he said. "Humans are fond of talking about having a work-life balance. Angels need that too." "Can you get away?" "I mean, I don't see why not, since Jerry said he doesn't need you anymore." "I don't want to go too far. Things could get out of hand quickly." "You could be back from anywhere in a second, though." "It's hard to relax with this looming over me," he said. "Waiting for a bomb to go off makes it hard to relax no matter where I am." He sighed. "Can we just sit here? Just sit here and do nothing?" "We sure can, but I can't guarantee that I won't go back to sleep." He scooted to the end of the couch. "Lie down and put your head in my lap." "What? No, I'll try to stay up." "I'm not going to make you suffer just because my life is in turmoil." He patted his lap. "I'll cover you with that blanket you're partially sitting on." I got up and handed him the blanket. "Feel that," I said. "I warmed it up with part of my butt already." He laughed. God, he sounded so tired. I don't know what it was, but I felt like he needed to lie down more than I did. I settled down on the couch like he told me to. My head was on his lap. He covered me with the blanket and he gently stroked my face. The sensation made my scalp all tingly and the tingles ran down my spine. I closed my eyes and smiled. "My mom used to do this," I said. "I haven't thought about that in years, but when I was little, I used to climb up in her lap and ask her to pet my face." Aiden chuckled. "Pet your face?" "Yeah, I'd go, 'Mama, let me lay down so you can pet my face, please.'" Would she do it? The memory made me sad and hurt my heart a little. "Every time," I said. every single time. You know, your accent gets stronger when you talk about your family or your past. Sorry. No, I like it. It's like the real you comes out. You seem a little more comfortable. I stretched, and he stopped stroking my face. I reached for his hand without opening my eyes. Don't stop, I just need to move for a minute. He continued stroking my cheeks and forehead. It was wonderful. This is better than any other place there is, he said. I opened my eyes and looked up at him. I don't know about that. You're not even limited to this planet. You can go anywhere. It's still better. But Liddy, I hate to bring this up now, but your grandmother, she doesn't have much longer, does she? No. You can go see her before then, but it'll need to be soon. Can I go tomorrow? Do you want me to go with you? I'd like that. That's what we'll do then. I closed my eyes again, but I wasn't relaxed anymore. So, how long does she have exactly? I asked, looking back up at Aiden. Just a little longer. Try not to think about it now. You'll get to see her again. Part of me feels like I need to get up and go there right now. Like she needs me and everything would be okay if I went there now. I want to help, but I also know there's nothing I can do that would change anything. What you need to do now is rest. You need that too. You won't get any rest if I stay awake, will you? I don't really sleep. What do you do? Let's not get into a whole other subject right now. But shh. The last thing I remember was seeing the light in his eyes, and then I was sound asleep. Chapter 84. Jerry woke up early the following morning, but couldn't bring himself to leave his bedroom. Aiden removed Daniel's body the night before, but just the thought of walking near the area where he died made Jerry's skin crawl. He'd been lying on his side facing the wall for at least an hour. Justice was in the bed next to him, and he didn't want to risk waking her up, so he moved as little as possible. Finally, he couldn't stand it anymore. Screw this, he said, and he got up. To his surprise, Justice was awake and smiling at him. Ah! How long have you been up? I don't really sleep, she told him. So that wasn't you I heard snoring last night? That was you. You woke yourself up. Whatever you say. He rubbed his temples and started looking around the room. What's wrong? Seriously, what's wrong? I drank too much last night. Now I have a splitting headache. I need something to drink. Some water. And I need an aspirin or some Tylenol. Oh, I almost forgot. We watched a guy die in my living room last night. Just that little minor detail. Justice rolled out of bed and put on her robe. Why would that bother you? She asked. Aiden did what you told him to do. You said you understood that it couldn't be undone. It's permanent, blah, blah, blah. Daniel's gone. It's the least he deserves for what he did, if you ask me. Jerry stepped into the bathroom and came out with a cup of water and 2 pills. He rattled the pills around in his hand, looked at them for a moment, then swallowed them with a sip of water. I never heard him say that he talked to her. Justice sighed. Did you really have to? It's a no-brainer. Who knew about us being here together that day? Who was always glaring at me like I'm the devil? Devil, Jerry laughed. Funny you should say that. She walked around the bed and took him in her arms. You're a high roller, she said. A big shot, right? There's nothing you can't do. Except get Amber back, he said. She ended the embrace and took a step back. Well, that's not your fault, is it? That was stolen from you by the very person who was hired to help you. Your reaction to his wildly inappropriate behavior was totally understandable. It's just... What? I don't want to overstep my bounds, but it really seems to me that Aiden... Never mind. No, Aiden what? What were you going to say? I don't want to start any drama between you two. How could you? You were just going to state your opinion on something, right? He's gone anyway, for now. Justice rubbed her hands together. This is going to come out wrong. Her face was tense. I wish I hadn't brought it up now. Oh, good God, just say it. Fine. She took a deep breath and exhaled slowly. After thinking everything over, I wonder if Daniel was the real source of your problem. Jerry slammed the cup of water down on his dresser. I knew it. I shouldn't have listened to you. Now Daniel's gone for no reason. You wasted one of my passes. Excuse me? In what way am I to blame for your decisions? Emphasis on your. You told me to do it, Justice. Am I your mama? Am I your boss? Be a man and own up to your decisions. Do you want to hear my opinion about Aiden or not? I'm not saying you have to act on it. I've never told you what to do, and I'm not about to start now. Jerry wiped the spilled water off the dresser with one sweep of his hands. He told me I shouldn't spend so much time with you, he said, wiping his hand on his pajama pants. She cocked her head to the side slightly. So you're saying we have 2 members of the I Hate Justice fan club? That's just what he said. What else did he say? He said, that was it. No, it isn't. What else? Jerry pulled at the drawstring on his pants. He said he couldn't read you. You're a blank slate. That seemed to bother him. Was he a psychic or something? What's he talking about reading me? Yeah, a psychic. Or he thinks he is. The magic man. Yeah, oh, he got weird when I told him you called him that. Isn't he, though? A magic man? I guess. Anyway, can you get to the point? My point is that Daniel should have never had the chance to call Amber. Aiden should have dealt with that problem before it ever got to that point. Don't you agree? I have to wonder why he didn't. Do you suppose he was too busy with other things? He's always been busy with other things. Other people. Jerry paused, thinking something over. What is it? Justice asked, wide-eyed. He pointed at her. Aiden's not the problem. Liddy is. He's been hanging out with her almost the entire time he's been here. I made a deal with him, and I feel like I'm entitled to more of his time than she is. You made a deal with him? She asked. What kind of deal? Just a business deal. You know, business. So you're saying that ultimately it's Liddy's fault that Amber left? That's what I'm saying, yeah. Justice shook her head and smiled at him. You're amazing. The way you can figure things out is just, wow. That's impressive, and I have to say, pretty hot, too. Jerry blushed a little. Nah, it's just how my mind works. I can't take credit for that. You should. She caressed his shoulder. Give yourself a little credit every now and then. It's okay to toot your own horn occasionally. It is her fault, he said. If she wasn't involved, Aiden would have been here to deal with everything before it got out of hand. That's what he's supposed to be here for, not spending time following her around like a puppy dog. I really hate you've had to put up with that. When I think about all the money you've no doubt paid him, and this is how he treats you? Huh. No wonder you told him to leave and never come back. It's been tough, I don't mind telling you. Speaking of tough, she took his hand. Do you want me to help you get out of here? Help me get out of here? What makes you think I need help? Because I've never known you to go this long without eating breakfast. Are you afraid to go out there? She nodded at the bedroom door. He looked around the room and held on to her hand. Just stay with me. They started walking toward the door. And go slow. They made it to the kitchen. It was an absolute mess. How can 2 people generate this much crap? Jerry wondered aloud. Maybe Daniel was doing more than I thought. He looked out toward the elevator. Right there. He died right there. You can't tell it by just looking at it, but he died there. I did that. Me. Does that bother you? She asked. It's a weird feeling, being able to basically just snap my fingers and make that happen. No consequences for me beyond a messy kitchen. I don't fully understand who Aiden is or how he does what he does, Justice said. But that must be a hell of a perk to have in your life. People would be so jealous of you if they knew you could do that. I mean, people already are jealous of you. This would make them crazy with jealousy, don't you think? Jerry headed to the refrigerator and opened it. He scanned the contents inside for a minute before grabbing a bottle of water. I guess, he said, fiddling with the bottle. Why do they make these lids so tiny? How do they expect me to grip it? Justice grabbed the bottle, twisted the cap open, and handed it back. Will you try to focus? She said. You have so much going for you. Maybe it's time to show it off. What do you mean? I mean, you have a remarkable amount of influence. There are ways of letting people see it. Now look, I can't go around killing people willy-nilly. If that's where you're going with this, just forget it. I could just go on Good Morning America again. That's boring. How about something a little unconventional? Like what? She smiled. An execution. What? No. We already know who. We know it's possible. You can get away with it if Aiden's involved. Think about it. We could throw a party, and anyone you invite would be so impressed with what you can do. They'll have me locked up. No, those kinds of things have to be done in private. How come? You've got the magic man, right? Jerry sighed. Justice, there's more to this than you know. Aiden isn't some sort of fancy magician. You can't even begin to comprehend what he is and what he can do. Are you saying I'm stupid? No, but what is there to comprehend, she said. He's a guy who takes care of things. You tell him what to do and he finds a way to make it happen. Trust me, it is not that simple. I don't feel like turning it into a public spectacle. Well, I just thought Aiden could... Just stop. You don't understand how all this works. Stop trying to plan things that aren't possible. Justice started laughing. Jerry was about to ask what was so funny when she doubled over, laughing even harder. Are you okay? He asked. Are you laughing at something I said, or are you... He stopped mid-sentence. A light shone from the ends of her long auburn hair and scalp, and her body changed inside of her clothes. She suddenly stood back up. Jerry stumbled backward into the refrigerator door. Shit! You're... He squinted at her. Oh, God. Not exactly, she said, combing her fingers through her long blonde ponytail, but pretty damn close. Chapter 85. Aiden and I paid my grandparents another visit that day. It went well, but it was still really sad. I could see a difference in Grandma just from the last time I visited her. She looked so thin and frail, weak. She'd always been so loud and boisterous. To see her looking so different was physically painful somehow, like my heart hurt. We made the most of our visit, but she was tired, so we didn't stay too long. Hospice had been called a couple days earlier. Everybody knew the time was coming. It could all come to a head at once, I said to Aiden back at my house. All what? He asked. And what are we going to do with all these moon pies? I gave him a tired smile. We'll put them in the kitchen cabinets, I guess. I told Grandpa many years ago that I like moon pies. It was just me making polite conversation, but that's what I got from then on as gifts. Cases of chocolate double-decker moon pies. He sent us home that day with 6 big boxes of the damn things. I took a moon pie out of one of the boxes and waved it around. All the, Jerry, Grandma. I just have this feeling that everything's going to pop off at once. I suppose that's possible. What do we do if it does? Has anything ever come up that I couldn't handle? Honestly, this whole scenario with Jerry seems to have you rattled. You can't tell me that the stuff that's going on here is normal. That's true, he said, but we've dealt with everything so far. Your declaration to the universe seems to have made a difference. It's too soon to tell on that. We found nooks and crannies in the kitchen to put all the moon pies in. What now? Aiden asked. How about something super exciting? He cringed. What? A trip to the farmer's market. And that's where we went. We wandered around, looked at plants, and bought a cedar wreath. We spent the late afternoon walking around and enjoying time together. It was wonderful. Chapter 86. Jerry stood there, his mouth hanging open, trying to process what he'd just watched. So you're not Justice. No, I am. But you're somebody else. That's right. It was you the whole time? Yes, it was, Jerry. How do you feel about that? Kind of sick, honestly. He took a drink of his water. But you're not Justice. Justice is a whole other person. Or nobody. He set the water bottle down and looked back at her. This makes no sense. She approached him and tried to touch his arm, but he pulled away. He pointed at her. You're Phaedra, he said, looking at her ponytail. And before that, you were that Gabriel guy. Correct. I thought you'd left or you got mad or something. So you didn't leave then? No. Wait, so this means Phaedra laughed. That's right. You got down and dirty with a bona fide celestial being. But it wasn't you. How is it even possible? Angels can appear in any form they choose. She winked at him, and we can do anything with that form that humans can. Jerry pulled his stool over in front of the refrigerator and sat down. So really, it's like I wasn't cheating. No, you absolutely were. Amber may not see it that way. She gets spiritual and shit every now and then. All I have to do is explain to her that you're not a human and she'll understand. She might even take me back. And Jerry, stop. Think about what you're saying. You're just going to call her up. No, I'll go to her apartment. Make it more personal. Whatever. You're going to go see her and tell her that the woman she saw in your bed wasn't real. No, I wouldn't say it like that. That sounds crazy. I'd let her know that it was an angel. You could even go with me to back it up. Phaedra raised an eyebrow. And that doesn't sound crazy at all to you? I mean, maybe. He slumped down. Yeah. I'm just really bummed out about everything. All the more reason to focus on getting payback. Why don't you talk to Aiden about it and see what he says? Jerry scoffed. What? The thing about an execution? I can tell you now that that'll be a no from him. He won't do it publicly, and he won't do it to her. You can't know either of those things until you ask. Jerry stood up and pushed the stool out of the way. It's way too early for any of this. You're not who I thought you were. I caused a guy to get killed last night, and my kitchen's a mess. I gotta go put some clothes on. Phaedra shrugged. Okay, we'll resume the discussion after that. No, we're done. I can't handle any more crazy shit right now. Maybe you can go wherever it is y'all go for a while. Just go get changed. She watched him walk away and disappear around the corner, and she continued watching until he came back about a minute later. He returned to the kitchen glaring at her. Okay, no. None of this is right. What do you mean? Why would you do any of this? Why would you be involved in my life, and why? Amber's gone because of you. Phaedra stood up a little taller and took a few steps toward him. He backed up. Don't get near me. You say Aiden's on the bad side, but you're 1,000 times worse. Good angel my ass. Jerry, listen. Her tone softened. When I first met you, I had no intention of ruining anything for you. But you sure as hell, let me finish. I had no intention of ruining anything, but I also had no intention of falling for you. She stepped closer, but that's exactly what's happened. You're saying, what? You have feelings for me? Like actual feelings? She came closer and kissed him on the cheek. That's exactly what I'm saying. She kissed his lips gently. Think you can handle that? Oh God, my head is spinning. So you, Phaedra, you like me. I think I'm falling in love with you, Jerry. Were you trying to get Amber out of the way so you could have me all to yourself? No, I meant it when I said I had no problem with you seeing her. Her or anybody else, as long as you always come back to me. Jerry gently clasped his hands around her waist. Why didn't you just tell me? I was afraid of scaring you off. He kissed her neck and shoulder. Does it seem like I'm scared? She laughed. Not a bit. I'm perfect for you. Did you know that? How so? I know about the deal you made with Aiden. You do? But how? Amber and all those other women can't follow you where you're going. I can. Jerry let her go and walked away. He looked out at the city. I don't like to be reminded of all that, he said, still facing the windows. Phaedra approached him and touched his shoulder. I could go with you, she said. Maybe I can even save you. He turned and looked at her, his eyes wide. Are you serious? Could you really? Don't joke about that. I can't promise anything because, frankly, I don't know what we'd be up against on the other side, but I'd sure as hell try. They embraced. Can you stop all this? Jerry asked. Can't you just undo everything? Maybe you could talk to Aiden. No, she pulled away. He cannot know I'm here. I've kept myself hidden from him this whole time, and it hasn't been easy. You can't tell him anything about me or us. It's the only way we have a shot at anything. Understand? I do. I understand. They gazed at one another for a moment. So what happens now? Jerry asked. Personally, I think we should have a party. We can celebrate your new life and seek vengeance for things lost at the same time. Not that whole execution thing again. Can we just worry about that later? After what you've lost? Jerry, I know everything. One of the main reasons you sold your soul was to have a chance with Amber. Through no fault of your own, that was stolen from you. It all goes back to Liddy. Are we really going to let her get away with what she's done to you? Jerry started pacing. Give me a minute. Phaedra watched him walk back and forth. What is there to think over? She asked, exasperated. He stopped and looked at her. You're saying that if Liddy hadn't been around, Aiden wouldn't have been distracted, and he'd have been here 100% for sure to prevent any of this from happening. Is that right? Yes. Jerry, Liddy hates you. She'd do anything to keep Aiden distracted and away from here so she could have him all to herself. Could you really not see that? I just thought it's the way it was supposed to be. Oh no, not at all. I don't condone their practices, but those angels like Aiden, are ordered to be by their person's side at all times. I have been trying to get you to understand that you've been cheated. You sold your soul, and Liddy got the reward. Jerry ran his hands through his hair in frustration. God, this is so confusing. Phaedra grabbed his hands. No, it's really very simple. Liddy has taken everything from you. Everything. Isn't it time you started taking it back? But this, I don't know. Can't you just go talk to Aiden about this? I know you said he can't know you're here, but I think if you just tried... No. It's a long story, but I cannot be the one to handle this. I really shouldn't be involved at all, but I care about you, and I don't want to see you hurt in any way. Aiden can't even know I'm here. Do you understand? I mean, no, not really. Phaedra kissed him. I want to protect you, keep you safe, like my pet. Your pet? What the hell? She laughed. Not a pet. I didn't mean it that way. I've just grown very fond of you, and I don't want to see Aiden hurt you anymore. The only way I can get his attention back where it needs to be is to eliminate the distraction. She stared into his eyes. It's what we have to do, Jerry. I just want to have fun and enjoy what I bargained for. It wasn't supposed to come with all this bullshit drama. Can't we do that? Just have a good time and forget about everything else? We sure can, she said, as soon as you talk to Aiden about Liddy. He sighed. You're not going to let this go, are you? It's a simple thing. Just talk to him. have him deal with the problem, and it's smooth sailing from then on. Chapter 87. Phaedra left once Jerry promised that he'd have a talk with Aiden. Jerry paced around the apartment, cleaned the kitchen, and straightened all the curtains before making a move. Aiden appeared right away. "You know," he said, "for someone who doesn't need me, I sure seem to hear from you a lot." "It's my right, isn't it? You're supposed to be here by my side all the time. I hardly ever see you." Aiden gave him a look. "You sent me away, Jerry. Surely even you understand that I can't both be here and not be here." "You know what I mean." "I truly don't." "Look, anyway, you're supposed to be available for me at all times, right?" "I am available to you at all times." "But you aren't always." "Jerry, what are you getting at? Am I keeping you from something? You and Liddy got big plans today?" "No." "I'm surprised." Aiden stood there silently. Jerry huffed. "Say something." "This is ridiculous. Did you just call me here to waste my time, or is there an actual point to this?" "There is. It's your fault that Amber's gone. Yours and Liddy's. And it's time you accepted responsibility for that." Aiden let out a surprised laugh. "I have to know how you came to that conclusion." "The only reason Daniel was able to get Amber up to my apartment was because you weren't here to stop him. Amber and I would still be together if you weren't off with Liddy all the time." "So you're telling me that I'm the bad guy in this situation?" "That's right. You and Liddy. And you're the victim. My relationship with Amber ended because you let Liddy keep you away from here. So yeah, I'd say I'm the victim." "Very well." Jerry crossed his arms. "So what are you going to do?" "I can apologize if you'd like." "What good is an apology going to do?" "No, I need more. I need real change, and I need to know that you feel the full extent of what you did to me." Meaning you need to suffer like you've caused me to suffer. "I'm having a party. Me and..." "You and who?" "Justice. Yeah. Except she looks different now. Or you'll..." "She changed her hair and other stuff." "What does that have to do with me suffering?" Aiden asked. "You have to feel my pain. You have to lose somebody just like I did." "Jerry, what are you saying?" "It's Liddy. She's got to go. She's too distracting. She keeps you from doing your job, so I want her to be my second person to go." Aiden abruptly turned and took several steps away. He turned back and looked at Jerry. "I can't." "You can't or you won't." "I can't." "Bullshit. Why can't you?" "Jerry, never mind. Forget it. I don't want to hear whatever stupid excuse you come up with. I should have known this would happen." Jerry picked up a box of tissues and threw it across the room. "Ought to ask you to kill your damn self," he muttered. "Pardon?" "Nothing. Stop being so formal all the time." He looked at the box of tissues on the floor. "I won't be satisfied until you know what this feels like. This stupid, pointless loss." "I know all about stupid, pointless losses," Aiden said. Jerry laughed. "That's what you get for picking a fight with God. I mean, I've made some dumb decisions in my life, but that... You believe I'm to blame for you choosing to get intimate with another woman," Aiden said. "No, you hold me responsible for your choice to pursue another woman. You wooed her, and then you brought her to your apartment numerous times so you could have sex with her." Aiden's voice grew louder with each sentence. "And now you believe that an innocent woman should die to atone for your lewd behavior?" Jerry heard a loud cracking noise. One of the exterior windows had bowed inward to an alarming degree. He moved away from the window, facing Aiden with his hands up. "Now hang on a minute," he said. "I think we both need to take a few breaths and calm down." He glanced over at the exterior pane and saw that there was indeed a crack in it. Little crystals of frost had formed around the edges, and Jerry noticed that the room felt noticeably colder. "I will not execute people who have nothing to do with this," Aiden said. But you and Liddy have everything to do with this. You can disagree with me all you want to, but if you'd been here, none of this would have happened. That's how I see it, and I'm in charge, so yeah. Aiden took several steps toward him. You're in charge, huh? That must be a tremendous burden for you, having to take care of all the little details, making the tough decisions. I don't envy you that. Yeah, well, I'm taking care of everything now, so I'm in charge. All right, Jerry. I'll be leaving now. I trust we have nothing further to discuss. Jerry pointed at the cracked exterior pane. What about that? Aiden shrugged. You're in charge, right? Deal with it, boss man. He disappeared before Jerry could say another word. Chapter 88. I had never seen Aiden in a mood like he was that evening. Woo, he was mad. The last time I saw him anywhere near that mad was back in Dalton Fisher when he explained the whole thing to me about Pastor Faust trying to make a deal behind his back. He didn't say much about whatever pissed him off, but I knew he'd been to see Jerry, so it wasn't a huge mystery. I couldn't imagine having Aiden's job, having to deal with one asshole after another for literally thousands of years. It made me appreciate my gigs a lot more, I can tell you that. What will make you feel better? I asked him. I've spent all morning trying to write some greeting card messages with no luck, so I'd like a break too. He looked at all the papers scattered about on the kitchen table. Do you need some more material to submit? I still can't come up with anything, but it feels wrong having you conjure up stuff. He waved his hand at me. It's nothing. There are plenty of people out there doing way worse things every day of the week. A big stack of folders appeared on the table. You organized it all, too? I asked. He nodded. I saw some badminton rackets and birdies in your closet, he said. Want to go play in the backyard? Badminton? I mean, we can, but it's like 40 degrees outside. Fahrenheit. You want me to change that? I'll just put on a coat. He grabbed the rackets and birdie while I got a coat on. Why do you have this stuff? He asked. I won it as a door prize at a seminar for the pest control people. I'm surprised they don't have you playing with big fly swatters. I looked at the rackets and visualized it. That would have been a really cool looking set, actually. We went out in the backyard, but found the trees to be an obstacle for the birdie, so we tried the front yard, which was much more open. I threw the birdie up in the air and swatted at it, missing. I took 2 more tries before I got it to go anywhere. We hit it back and forth several times. So what made you want to do this? I asked on my way to retrieve the birdie from the shrubs in front of the house. I feel the need to repeatedly hit something very hard. Bad day at the office, huh? You could say that. I'm sorry you have to put up with that. What happened this time? It's nothing I can't handle. We had a good start, but now, I don't know. I missed the birdie and tried serving it several times before I got it going again. My racket has a damn hole in it or something, I said. So if you decide when you're done with one of your people, how long are you going to tolerate a bunch of shit from this one? Longer than I normally would, he said, given the special circumstances. He whacked the birdie hard enough to launch it to the far edge of the yard. Sorry about that. Guess I don't know my own strength. No problem. I jogged across the yard and retrieved it. I served it on the first try. Ha! Got it. Are you putting up with that shitty person because of me? He smiled. Maybe. You know that's not necessary. Like you said, we could always hang out whenever you have time, no matter who you're working with. I like being close to you even if we're not together, even if I'm just working. I felt a hot flush in my cheeks. Why's that? I asked. You have a calming effect on me. You always have. Something about being around you makes me feel so much better. You weren't terribly calm when you got here earlier, I said. Trust me, I was better than before I arrived. I'd hate to have seen you before then. Seriously, he was really pissed about something. I guess the question is, how much is too much? How far do you let Jerry go? If he doesn't want you coming around and doing anything, do you just wait for him to burn out? I hit the birdie over to Aiden, and he reached up and grabbed it. He's on the edge, he said. He's making ridiculous demands. It's not clear to me yet what's going to happen, but losing Amber has really set him off. I walked over closer. But that was his own fault, I said. Didn't you say Amber walked in on him and another woman? What did he think would happen? He thought he'd never get caught. Now it's somehow my fault that he did. Well, mine and yours. Yours and mine? What the hell did we do? He said that if you hadn't distracted me, I'd have been able to stop Daniel from calling Amber and telling her to come over. My God, I hope he stretched before that reach. That's insane. Let's just say the conversation went downhill from there. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. He looked around for a minute and then sighed. Would you mind if I took off for a little while? Where to? Just a place I like to go. He smiled a little. They have ice skating there. Yeah, no problem. I bet it's nice. It is. And peaceful. You'd love it. I can't skate. How do you know? He said with a wink. You've never really tried. Very funny. You go ahead. Take a break and enjoy it. He handed me the badminton racket and the birdie. Too bad I can't take you. You're the only part that's missing. Chapter 89. Jerry ran his hand lightly along the crack in the exterior pane of glass in amazement. It's so thick, he said softly to no one. How? Phaedra could probably fix it, he thought. And she likes me? That is so cool. He wondered when she'd be back, but he wasn't in a big rush to see her. The way things went with Aiden, she was bound to be disappointed. As large as it was, the apartment suddenly felt very confined. Jerry got dressed and decided it was time to go out and get some air, maybe stop by Pure Platinum to see what was going on. He took the elevator all the way down to the underground parking garage. It was cold out, but the concrete everywhere made the parking area feel even colder. He zipped up his jacket and walked quickly to his Humvee. A man approached while Jerry was getting situated in the driver's seat. Hey, man. Jerry jumped and the man apologized. Sorry, I thought you saw me before you got in. Hey, can you spare a few dollars? You remember me? You're, Sticky. Remember? I saw you here before. Oh, yeah. Look, I'm kind of in a hurry. Just a couple dollars. Come on. Fine. Hang on a minute. Jerry searched his pants pockets for the ever-present roll of bills, but his pockets were empty. He glanced up at Sticky. Is there a problem? Sticky asked. No, it's just... He pulled out his wallet. Aside from his driver's license, it was also empty. Somehow I don't have any cash on me at all. Sorry about that. Sticky lunged in through the open window, grabbing Jerry's wallet out of his hand. Gimme that! Jerry snatched the wallet back and tried to push the man out of the car. He fumbled with the ignition switch with one hand and pushed Sticky away with the other. The Humvee rumbled to life. I'm backing up, Jerry cried. You better get out of the way. Sticky kept lunging through the driver's side window and yelling. Jerry put the vehicle in reverse and floored it, sending Sticky tumbling on the concrete. Jerry then turned the wheel hard, put it in drive, and sped toward the exit, watching Sticky scramble to his feet. He was running full speed after him in a flash. The steel garage door was down. Jerry frantically searched the cup holder for the key card, and he couldn't find it right away. Sticky was gaining fast. The thought of trying to plow through the door crossed Jerry's mind as he got closer, but he had no idea how thick the door was and was afraid to try. He slammed on brakes right at the door, put it in park, and continued digging around in every nook and cranny looking for the key card. Sticky ran to the driver's side door and yanked it open. He grabbed Jerry's jacket and pulled him out onto the ground. I don't have anything for you, Jerry shouted, struggling to his feet. I've given you a shit ton of money already. Piss off. Sticky snatched the wallet out of Jerry's back pocket and opened it. It's empty. He threw it over Jerry's head and it landed on top of the Humvee. I told you I didn't have anything. Sticky grabbed Jerry by the throat and squeezed. You always have money, he said. You're just hiding it. Give it to me. Jerry pried his hands loose and ran for the door, leaving the Humvee in park, driver's side door open and running. Sticky nearly caught him when he paused to open the exit door, but Jerry made his escape and ran as fast as he could down the sidewalk on Friendly Avenue. Sticky wouldn't give up that easily. He almost had him, but Jerry darted out into the road, barely missing a Jeep. Horns honking and chaos followed as the two men zigzagged their way across the street to the other side. Sticky overtook Jerry in the gravel parking lot of Clemens Florist, just down the street from the apartment. He leapt on top of Jerry and slammed his head into the ground. Everything happened so fast that Jerry hadn't even thought about calling out to Aiden for help until that moment. He felt something warm and wet on the back of his head as Sticky bashed it into the gravel a second time. "Aiden!" he shouted. Jerry opened his eyes to see Sticky kneeling on his chest, and Aiden was standing just behind him. Sticky froze for a moment and then looked back at Aiden. Aiden smiled. "Hi there." He looked down at Jerry. "You fellas having a nice evening?" Jerry's eyes were wide. He struggled to move, but Sticky had him pinned. "Help me!" "He stole my money," Sticky yelled, and he grabbed Jerry's head again on either side. "I'm going to kill him." "Get him," Jerry managed to say before Sticky smashed his head into the gravel again. "Get him?" Aiden asked. "I don't understand what you mean. Please elaborate." "Kill him." "Oh, right." Aiden looked Sticky in the eye, and Sticky immediately let go of Jerry's head. He clutched at his chest and gasped for air. Jerry took advantage of the moment and shoved Sticky off him. "There! No, don't kill him." "Don't? Make up your mind, Jerry." Jerry wiped the back of his head and looked at his hand. It was covered in blood. He wiped it on his pants. "I just wanted him off of me." Sticky balled up on the ground, moaning. "So you don't want me to kill him?" "No, it's fine. Let go or stop whatever it is you're doing to him." "Suit yourself." Sticky stopped moaning and remained motionless for a few seconds. He then turned his attention back to Jerry and jumped on him again, knocking him back down to the ground. "He's not terribly big," Aiden said, "but he's persistent." "Gack!" Jerry tried to grab Sticky's hands before they went around his throat, but he failed. The two men struggled almost in silence, other than the sound of Jerry's heels digging into the gravel, fingernails scratching skin, and an occasional tiny gasp. Aiden came over closer and studied the scene. "What a wonderful dance," he said softly. "It's almost graceful." "Jerry, how do you feel about this totally unexpected turn of events?" Jerry kicked his legs out. His strength was fading. "Sticky," Aiden said in a kind voice, "will you please stop that?" "I want my money." "All right, Jerry. Should I kill him?" "Grunt once for yes and twice for no." All he heard was a gurgling noise. Aiden sighed impatiently. "You're ruining my little break. If you can't grunt, do something with your legs if you want me to kill him. Keeping in mind that if I do..." Jerry started slapping his legs together frantically. "You'll only have one allowance left after I do this." He heard a high-pitched squeak followed by more flapping. "I guess we'll proceed." Sticky once again let go of Jerry, clutching his chest, and rolled off onto the ground. Jerry took a deep breath, sat up, and started coughing. "I won't let him up again," Aiden said as he watched Sticky writhe on the ground. "Good," Jerry said, his voice harsh but weak. "Don't." They both watched in silence as Sticky fought for air, still clutching his chest. "You're responsible," Jerry said. "You son of a bitch." "Who are you talking to?" Aiden asked. "I'm talking to you." The color was coming back into his face, and he felt stronger. "I'm always supposed to have money in my pocket, and where is it?" He slapped at the front of his pockets for emphasis. "No money, and what a perfect time to run out when some psycho corners me in the parking deck." "I had nothing to do with that." He looked Jerry up and down. "Would you like me to fix you up before I go?" "No, just take that asshole and get out of my sight." Aiden knelt down next to Sticky, who was now almost completely motionless. He rested his hand on Sticky's chest and stayed there for a moment. Jerry slowly stood up but kept his eye on Aiden. He heard the same crackling sound that he'd heard with Daniel, and then Aiden was gone, leaving Sticky's lifeless body there in the parking lot. Everything fell silent. Jerry looked all the way up Friendly Avenue and didn't see a single car, which was very odd. "Do I just go?" He looked up at it and asked the heavens. He kicked at Sticky's feet. "I guess I'll leave this here for you then." No response. After waiting a few more seconds, he walked slowly back up the street toward his apartment. Chapter 90. I felt her go. There's no way to describe it other than a feeling like something was taken. A piece of my heart was gone, and I felt the sadness of that loss right away. It came out of nowhere while I was standing at the kitchen sink washing some dishes. Aiden was still gone to his ice skating place, or so I thought, and I wondered if he knew about it too. The phone rang a few minutes later, and Grandpa confirmed it. He sounded tired, but calm somehow. I asked him if he was okay, and he said he was. We agreed that this was a good thing for Grandma, but this was going to be a tough thing to get used to. Funeral arrangements had to be made, but we'd already worked out the preliminary details with the funeral home, so we didn't have much left to do other than pick a date for the funeral and burial. I promised to come see Grandpa on Christmas Day, and he said that'd be really nice. I left the dishes as they were and went to sit on the couch after I got off the phone. It's one thing to know that a death is coming, but it's something else entirely to have it actually happen. She was gone. The only mother I'd known since my actual mom died had now left me too. Most of us go through that at some point in our lives, but it's still such an isolating experience in a way. All the change to deal with, other people not really knowing what to say, and my God, all the casseroles. Grandpa would be bombarded with food. I wondered if he thought about that. No doubt Miss Brenda up the road would jump at the chance to get her hooks in him. Grandma always said Miss Brenda slobbered after him like a dog after a bone. Well, now she has her chance. I fell asleep on the couch thinking about that. And then a while later, I was jarred out of my sleep by some enthusiastic guy screaming about cleaning products in an infomercial. I hate those things. But the over-the-top excitement from the presenter and their little audience cracks me up every time. Aiden came in from the kitchen when he saw me sit up. "I wondered how long you'd sleep," he said. "When did you get here?" He was wiping his hands on a dish towel. "Not too long ago. I finished up the dishes." "Well, thank you. You didn't have to do that." It wasn't much. "How come you don't just wave your hand and boop, they're done?" "Shit, that's all I'd ever do if I had that power." He pulled at a loose string on the towel. "I've had enough magic for one day. Sometimes doing things the old-fashioned way is a welcome change." I got off the couch and approached him. "What magic have you been doing?" I asked. "I thought you were going to go take a break." "I was called back here." "Let's not worry about it for now." "Listen, your grandmother, I already know," I said. I felt it, and then Grandpa called me right after. "Really? You sensed her death?" "Yeah, it's not all that uncommon. People do it all the time." He smiled and hugged me. I wasn't expecting that. He's not known for spontaneous hugs. "That's wonderful," he said. "Not your grandmother's death. No, I really am sorry about that." "But you really knew before Warren called?" "Yeah. Why is that such a big deal?" "It's not. I'm just glad to hear it. That means you're perceptive. That's a good thing." I took the dish towel from him and walked back into the kitchen. He followed me. "Grandpa's going to let me know once he knows all the funeral arrangements," I said. "Let me go with you." "Only if you can. It sounds like you got your hands full as it is. I'll be okay if you can't make it. But I want to be there. We'll see." I looked around the kitchen. He had washed the rest of the dishes, wiped everything down, and cleaned out both sinks. "You did it exactly like I would have done it," I said. "You're really good." Thank you. I've learned to pay attention to little details over the years. You're not one of my people, but you deserve the same attention. I have a question though. Why do you hand wash everything if you have a dishwasher? Because it's just me here and I don't generate a lot of dirty dishes. Most days I use the same stuff over and over, and it'd be a waste to run the dishwasher just to wash 5 or 6 things. Besides, I opened the dishwasher and gestured to its contents like Barker's Beauties. That's where I store my placemats and napkins. Aiden laughed. Good grief. I smiled and closed the dishwasher door. Doesn't everybody do that? Of course, it's only logical. Yeah, just don't ever turn it on by mistake. I hide my chips and snacks in there too. Who are you hiding them from? I looked around. I have no idea. We both got a good laugh out of that, and then Aiden abruptly changed the subject. You know, Christmas is coming. Yeah, doesn't really feel like it though with everything going on. I didn't even do a tree this year. Aiden glanced back into the living room. That's a shame. Do you want to? Do I want to what? Put up a tree. Nah, I think I'll just skip it this year. It wouldn't even be up long enough to be worth it. I thought about Grandma and sighed. I can't believe she's gone. I'm happy for her because I know she's in a better place. I stopped and looked at Aiden. She is, isn't she? Oh, absolutely. Well, that's good enough. I hate to bring this up now, Aiden said, but do you have something to wear to the funeral? Actually, no, not really. Hadn't even thought about that. Shoot. Do you feel like going shopping, or would you like me to take care of it? I want you to get back to ice skating. I never even got to start, he said, a bit irritated. I didn't even get the skates on. Go on, I'll be okay. Are you sure? I'm fine. He didn't go right away. He just stood there, giving me a funny look. Fine, I said. If you could just, generate a dress, that'd be great. I really don't feel like going shopping. It's already done. Let me know if you need anything else. Shoes? You got it, he said, and he was gone. I went upstairs and found 5 different dresses laid out on my bed and 5 different pairs of shoes lined up on the floor. The hardest part was choosing just one of each. I loved them all. Finally, I picked up one of the dresses off the bed. Under it was a single white rose and a note. As sad as the day was, it made me smile. The note said, I knew you'd pick this one. I'll be back soon. Chapter 91. Jerry could hear the rumbling of the Humvee's engine growing louder as he approached the apartment building. He wondered if anyone else had discovered it, either by walking by and hearing it or by finding it blocking the exit when they tried to drive out. He went through the access door to the right of the steel exit garage door and saw that no one was there. He jumped up and grabbed his wallet off the top of the vehicle. Just before he stuck it back in his pocket, he decided to open it and check the contents. In addition to his driver's license, it was once again full of money. Son of a... He put the wallet back in his pocket and then checked his front pockets. It's back! He pulled rolls of cash out of both of them. The driver's side door to the Humvee was still open. He climbed in and his key card was resting in the closest cup holder as it normally was. Jerry picked it up and examined it closely, then set it back in place. This is bullshit, he muttered as he closed the door and put the vehicle in reverse. He glanced in the rearview mirror and got a shock. Phaedra was standing directly behind the Humvee. Jesus! He got back out and approached her. What the hell happened to you? She asked. My God, where are you going? I got beat up, Jerry said. Some homeless guy came up to me in here demanding money. His name was Sticky. I didn't have any money on me, so he chased me down the street and beat the shit out of me. How'd you get away? Aiden. I called him and I had to use one of my passes. Shit, that means I only have one left. Aiden took the guy, killed him. He did that and then I just walked back up here on my own. Didn't Aiden do anything for you? He just took the guy and left? He didn't even offer, Jerry lied. Here I am, bleeding and all bashed up and shit, and he didn't do a damn thing for me. Why is your vehicle here at the gate? I was trying to get away from that guy, but I couldn't find the key card, the pass thing. It had somehow magically vanished too, but now it's back. He picked at some dried blood on his arm. Somebody's definitely messing with me, and I think we both know who it is. Aiden's pissed that I sent him away and don't need him anymore, so this is his revenge. Phaedra stepped back and looked him up and down. We can discuss this later. Let's get you cleaned up and move this big thing out of the way. She pointed to the Humvee. No, Jerry said. I'll move the Humvee, but I don't want to get too cleaned up. Not yet. Why not? I've got an idea. Come on. He parked the Humvee out of the way, and they went upstairs to his apartment. Okay, Phaedra said. What is it? I want to get a news crew up here. Somebody local. Channel 2, Channel 8, whatever. I want everybody to see what's happened to me. Can't we at least get you out of these clothes? They're all torn and bloody. I'm afraid that'd be too much for their audience. No offense, but you look like something from a horror movie. How about this? He looked down at his clothes. I'll get you to take a few pictures of me, front and side, like from the chest up, so they can see up close. We'll give the pictures to the reporter, and they can include them in the story. I'll get a shower and change clothes after you take the pictures. Phaedra pointed at the cracked outer glass pane. You want to explain that? It was Aiden, Jerry said. He got mad, and then something weird happened with the atmosphere in here, or outside, or something. I felt it get colder in here, and then that big outer window section cracked. It was really loud. He got mad when you asked him about Liddy, didn't he? Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know what he was going to do. He actually yelled at me. What did he say about killing her for you? He said he couldn't. Couldn't? He actually said he couldn't. That's what he said. I asked him if it was that he couldn't or that he wouldn't. It got worse from there, and voila, now I have a cracked window pane thing. Phaedra waved her hand in the direction of the crack, and it blended back together, slowly forming a single, unblemished, thick pane of glass again. I can't fix his stubbornness, she said, but at least I can repair some of the damage left in the wake of it. Thanks. Jerry started walking back toward his bedroom. I've got a digital camera back here, he said. Just come on back here with me. We'll find a plain wall for me to stand up against for the pictures. Jerry dug around in his sock drawer and produced a small digital camera. He turned it over in his hands. We shouldn't have any trouble getting copies of the pictures to the TV people, he said. We'll just put them on a thumb drive. Okay, here. He handed the camera to Phaedra. They found a section of plain wall in the bathroom, and Phaedra took the pictures. I'll transfer these while you're in the shower, she said. Then we can make some phone calls. Thanks. And could you maybe, I don't know, gore it up a little more? Just a little. I don't want to make it look fake. I'll see what I can do. Channel 3 was very interested in Jerry's story, and they agreed to send out a reporter and camera crew right away. They arrived outside the building while Jerry was picking out something to wear. He fiddled with his tie for a moment and then looked at himself in the mirror. This shirt covers up the stuff on my neck too much, he said. I need to change. He took the shirt off and let Phaedra take a look. See it? Look over here. You can literally see marks where his fingers were, like individual marks. Did you make a copy of the pictures? Yes. The reporter and camera crew are downstairs. I'll go welcome them and bring them up while you change. She glanced at his neck and chest. Go with a V-neck sweater. Jerry followed her advice and found a V-neck in the closet. He put it on and pulled it down as low in the front as he could without making it too weird. It showed the scratch marks and bruises quite nicely. The reporter and Phaedra were having a lively chat until the elevator doors opened and Jerry came into view. The reporter stepped out ahead of Phaedra and the camera guy. Oh my God, she cried. Jerry concealed a smile. I know, he said, acting as if he was trying to cover the scratches and bruises with his hands for a moment. Please forgive my shocking appearance. The attack just happened. No, don't worry about it. Can we sit over here? They all walked over to the sectional sofa, and Jerry held out his hand as they approached. Jerry McAvoy. Oh, the reporter said, I know who you are. Everyone knows who you are. I'm Sarah Smith. They shook hands. Nice to meet you, Sarah. Do you need to sit facing me, or... He motioned to Phaedra. Honey, could you get a chair for Miss Smith? How about that one over there? He pointed to a chair near the TV. Phaedra brought the chair over, and Sarah clipped a microphone onto her lapel, then helped Jerry with his while the cameraman set up the equipment. What happened? She asked Jerry. We'll save that for the camera, Jerry said. How do you plan on starting this interview? I thought we'd start with a brief introduction, let everyone hear a little bit about you. Honestly, I'd have a better idea of how to start it if, frankly, I knew what the heck happened to you. Jerry glanced over at Phaedra, and she nodded slightly. I was attacked by a man in the parking deck of this building, Jerry said. A homeless man. And you, Sarah made a few notes on a clipboard, you want people to know what exactly? I want everyone to know that I'm here to help. I've already done a great deal with my resource center, but now it's time to do more. He cracked a knuckle. Make it personal. So that's the direction. Okay, I got it. We won't take up too much of your time, Mr. McAvoy. He leaned forward and put a hand on her knee. Please, call me Jerry. Sarah scooted back in her chair. Jerry, that's fine. I'd also like to get a bit of footage in the parking deck if that's possible. No problem. There's a Humvee down there. That's mine. I was trying to escape by driving away, but he got me at the exit. Get some video of the door down there at the exit, too, because that's where he yanked me out and tried to choke me. And then I ran down the street, and he chased me. He cleared his throat. He was going to kill me. I'm lucky to be alive right now. You're lucky to be talking to me. We'll get it after we finish up here, she said. Great, let's do it. Sarah did just as she said she would for the introduction, and Jerry was pleased with her attention to detail. She then leaned forward, looked Jerry in the eye, and said, Jerry, please tell us in your own words what happened to you today. He sat back, took a deep breath, and let it out slowly. Well, I have to say, my day certainly didn't turn out the way I thought it would. I was headed out to do some volunteer work at my resource center. You know, the one I fund myself 100%, to read some books to a bunch of homeless kids and orphans. Homeless orphans. And bam! I'm viciously attacked in the parking deck. We'll cut to some video of the parking deck here, Sarah said. Go on. This man pulled me out of my vehicle and tried to rob me. I told him I didn't have any money on me, which wasn't a lie, and he kept grabbing at me. He got my wallet and threw it at me after he found out there wasn't any money in it. Then he chased me down the street and tried to choke me to death right down there by the florist shop. He pointed in the general direction of Clemens' florist. Oh, wow, Sarah said. What happened next? Well, He looked over at Phaedra. She knew exactly what he was thinking. A guardian angel saved him, she said. Sarah looked at her. A what? It was a guardian angel, she said, moving over to Jerry and sitting beside him. That's what we think, anyway. And what did this guardian angel do? Jerry glanced at Phaedra and patted her on the leg. Jerry managed to call out for help, Phaedra said, and out of nowhere comes this man. We don't know who he was or where he came from, but he managed to save Jerry by pulling the guy off of him and calling the police. Jerry no doubt will be dead right now if this man hadn't come along and saved him. What was his name? We don't know, Jerry said suddenly. No idea. I asked and he wouldn't tell me his name. One of those Lone Ranger types, I guess. Anyway, I was attacked and it got me to thinking, had you ever seen this man before? Sarah asked. No, Jerry said, a bit annoyed. It's not important. Can you describe him, maybe? Our viewers would really like to see the man who saved your life, even if it's just a sketch. Go on, Phaedra said. I wasn't there, so I have no way of knowing what he looked like, but surely you remember a few details. Jerry sighed. I mean, I don't know. It all happened so fast. He had blonde hair, short on the back and sides, but a little longer on top. Not flock of seagulls long, but a little longer. And a narrow face. Blue eyes. I'd say he's about 5'11" or so. Not bad looking. Like somebody who was maybe a surfer when they were younger. Slim build. I don't know. That's about it. Oh, and he was wearing a dark suit. So like a businessman, Sarah said, taking notes. Yeah, we could definitely work up a sketch of that. Jerry could do it, Phaedra said. Of course, you know about his gorgeous paintings, right? That's a fantastic idea, Sarah said. Do you suppose you could do a portrait of this man, Jerry? Can I please get back to my story? Jerry asked. He looked at the camera. Is that thing still recording? We're still recording, Sarah said. I apologize. Please continue. The attack got me to thinking that even with all the services my community center provides, funded totally by me out of my own pocket, I could be doing more to help people like my attacker. I want to provide tailor-made employment opportunities to the homeless population of Greensboro. I'll call it Project Overseer. What a wonderful way to turn a negative into a positive, Sarah said. So this Project Overseer, is that something you'd already been thinking about before the attack? Oh no, it just came to me as that man was choking the life out of my body. He'd bashed my head into the gravel several times. They have a gravel parking lot down there at the florist. And I just had this revelation, you know. This man desperately needed money and was willing to kill me for it. I have plenty of money. Why not work with these folks on a one-on-one level? Discover each person's unique talents and help them achieve financial success at the same time. That's a fantastic idea, Jerry. If you could just give me a quick summary to wrap the story up, that'd be great. Just a few sentences about using your unfortunate experience for a good cause. Jerry sat up straight and looked directly into the camera. There comes a time in every man's life when he has to prove himself. He has to look adversity in the face and meet it head on. What happened to me was tragic, yes. He paused. And right here, I have some pictures that show just how bad it was, he told Sarah. You could show them here while I talk about how brave and generous I am. Phaedra handed Sarah a thumb drive. Sarah nodded and put the thumb drive in her pocket. Continue. But I'm prepared to go that extra mile, Jerry said, again looking into the camera. The homeless of Greensboro will get to know me even better in the coming weeks. I look forward to getting out there personally and dealing with each and every one of you and making sure you get everything you deserve. Thank you. The reporter sent the cameraman down to the parking deck and the florist's parking lot to get some video. She then returned her attention back to Jerry. How about that sketch? She asked. It'd be a great way to showcase your artistic talent. Phaedra jumped up and went to a tall cabinet that sat on a far wall. She opened the doors and retrieved a canvas and some paints. I think a painted portrait would be a much more impressive thing than a sketch, she said, placing the items on a side table next to the sofa. Jerry, what do you think? I think this should be about the tack and getting bad from good. Good from bad, Phaedra said. And a painting isn't going to distract from that. Don't you agree, Sarah? Sarah nodded. I've heard about the way you paint, she said to Jerry. We could get some video of that, too. I'll go up and get an easel and a palette, Phaedra said, and she went up on the roof for the supplies. This is too distracting, Jerry said to Sarah. If you try to jam too much into the story, people will lose sight of the main thing we're trying to get across. Sarah removed the microphone from his sweater and helped him with the battery pack on the back waistband of his pants. Does it make you uncomfortable to paint in front of other people? She asked. No, it's not that. I can paint in front of anybody. It's just, we don't know who this guy is. What if we put a picture out there and it turns out he's wanted for murder or something? Do you really think that's likely? What will be the odds of that? We don't... Phaedra came back down with the palette and easel. Where should I set this up? She asked. Let's just have him stand here in this open area, Sarah said, behind the sofa. Perfect. That gives him plenty of room. It'll make a great shot. Jerry paints his guardian angel. I love it. Jerry took the palette from Phaedra. I don't want to do this, he whispered to her. Just picture somebody else and paint them. But I've already given a description. Jerry, don't overthink it. Just do something. He stood before the canvas on the easel, his paints all ready, and he looked back at Sarah. The cameraman had returned and was all set to get video of Jerry creating the painting. We won't show the whole process in this segment, Sarah said. We'll just show the work in progress and then the final picture once you've finished. Jerry slowly turned back to the canvas. Fine, my guardian angel. He had a thought, then a gleam in his eye. Let's go. He painted fast, like he was racing against the clock. It seemed haphazard and chaotic, but an image was definitely forming. Everyone watched with fascination. That's amazing, Sarah said. Are you getting this? The cameraman nodded. Jerry closed his eyes and continued painting. He saw the image so clearly in his mind and let the brush do whatever it wanted with the canvas. Phaedra pointed out that he was painting blind, and Sarah made sure to get a shot of that. He finished the portrait in just under 10 minutes. For a canvas of that size, 16 by 20, it was a new record for time to completion. There you go. That's my savior. He backed away from the painting and Sarah gasped. Phaedra stifled a laugh and the cameraman zoomed in on it. Sarah moved closer. She came around the sofa, not taking her eyes off the painting. It looks like She reached out a finger to touch it, but Jerry stopped her. The paint's wet, he said. It looks like a photograph. Literally, it's like a photograph. So this is the guy? Yep. He looks evil, the cameraman mumbled. Sarah overheard him. Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but this guy, what is it? Something about his eyes. His mouth, too. I don't mean any disrespect. This painting is stunning, but the guy looks wicked, Phaedra said. I see it, too. I paint him like I see him, Jerry said. Can I help it that that's what he looked like? It's really impressive, Sarah said. Truly, but I think we'll just go with the sketch. I have somebody who can do it based off the painting here. I'll show them some of the video and they can go from there. I hope that's okay. Thank you for doing the painting. Jerry looked at the picture again. Personally, I don't think any of this is necessary. Who cares what he looks like? This is the person who saved your life, Sarah said. I realize that it just happened today and you're probably still pretty shaken up, but I think it's a crucial part of your story and I'm going to include it. Whatever you want to do, I just wanted the people of Greensboro to know that I'm going to I'm going to get personally involved with the homeless population in this city. I want to provide them with unique opportunities through Project Overseer. Just make sure you include that. Whatever else you decide to put in makes no difference to me. Okay, sounds good. So will it be on tonight? Tomorrow night, possibly, Sarah said. Possibly? You don't know? It depends on several factors. I'll see what I can do. The news crew packed up and left. Jerry looked over at his new painting. I come away with that with a half-assed TV interview and this stupid picture of Aiden. It's not so bad, Phaedra said. I like how mean you made him look. Like the villain he truly is, Jerry said. What's this Project Overseer all about? It's bullshit. Phaedra, we're going to help the homeless. By providing unique employment opportunities, like I said. You've totally lost me. Why do you say it's bullshit? It's just something to sound good. I wanted it out there publicly so nobody would think it was weird to see me interacting with these people. But you do that through the community center already. Jerry laughed. Not like this. He grabbed his wallet and keys. Let's go make the acquaintance of a few bums. And we are going to stop there. When we come back, we're going to be at chapter 92. We are now over halfway through this story. So for anybody who thinks it's too long, we're over halfway now. So that's pretty cool. So when we come back, we will start with chapter 92. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little segment of my story. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.